Good afternoon. Thank you for joining the second session of the Sustainability Insight. Firstly, I would like to introduce our organizing team from UNESCO Jakarta. My name is Khairul Hazlan, MFIT Coordinator. Ms. Sachi Suzuki, JFIT Coordinator. Our colleagues from UNESCO Office in Jakarta, Felicia Angelina, Gani Mulya, Cipta Yamatusanda. Today, we are going to focus on the fostering of partnerships for managing water-related disasters. We proudly present Professor Shahbaz Khan, the Director of UNESCO Regional Science Bureau for Asia and the Pacific, as the moderator, and Professor Kuniyoshi Takeuchi, Professor Emeritus, University of Yamanashi, as our guest speaker. You are invited to fill the attended list form, which we are now sharing with you. This is required, especially if you'd like to receive the certificates later. Professor Shahbaz, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Hazlan. This is really a wonderful day today. We have one of the most eminent professors within UNESCO's International Hydrological Program. Kuni, most welcome to our program. And I want to also highlight today your contributions you have made over 40 years to the International Hydrological Program and to the International Association of Hydrological Sciences. And your affiliation with IHP, as I gather, has been very long one, especially for this region, where one of the most active regional steering committee mechanisms came. Many people become part of IHP. You've inspired many young colleagues. You have started as founding director ICHAM, brought many concepts of modeling, as well as how do we bring transdisciplinary approach. And as we have COVID situation, this is also a disaster. So Kuni, with our interaction over 10 years, including the interesting projects we have done in Pakistan, and we have been together in a few meetings, as well as walked along interesting areas. I'm going to ask you some questions so that our colleagues can get inspired by you and learn from you the value of partnerships. So with your permission, if I can begin with my first question to you, is about the International Hydrological Program and the process which was started in the Asia region, Southeast Asia, especially at that time. In long time, 1993, as we were talking. So can you give us some ideas why it was necessary to start such a process of partnership? What did we gain out of that? What was your role? And what did we learn over 30 years together, especially with the Japan Funds in Trust support? Over to you, Kuni.
Well, thank you, Shahbaz, for your very important question. Well, actually, we are really proud of having a regional steering committee for IHP in this region. It started, well, 1991, when Professor Takahashi was elected as the vice chair of the Intergovernmental Council. We in Japan got together and discussed about what to do. And we realized, you know, there is no hydrologist lobby in this region. It was more like a vacuum. So we thought we should have a forum for discussing first the regional matters. And we have to discuss about our role to the globe. It is not only for ourselves, but for global purpose too. And many people agreed about the necessity, and we started. And actually, there is a basic reason why we have to learn each other, and we have to help each other, and we have to contribute, jointly contribute to the world, because we share the climate, the geology, and all the problems because of this, and culture. You know, we are living on the rice mostly. So we have the similar socio-economic problems. And of course, we have the monsoons and typhoons, the orogenic active zones and volcanoes and earthquakes, all sorts of disasters we share. And we have the similar problem. We have to learn from our experiences each other. And also, it was the time of the Asian, the kind of boom in economy and environment. So this was a kind of hotspot of this area. That is why we have our regional responsibility to feedback our experiences to the globe. This was the basis of the Regional Steering Committee.
That's really wonderful. So you have already highlighted there were so many common factors, climate, geology, but also you have mentioned culture and desire of colleagues to work together. And many of us share rice growing in this region in Asia Pacific. So this was very good to bring all those people together. But as you bring some of those best persons, hydrologists and geologists and people affiliated with the water sciences, I see there are so many achievements you have made. Of course, at personal level, you have been the chairman of the IHP, of IHS, but at the level of RSC, I see there is a lot of very, very good work which has been done. And many people maybe does not know that. One of them is Catalogue of Rivers, a beautiful product. Still, we are struggling with data about rivers. Can you describe, Kuni, this Catalogue of Rivers and why it was important, and how did you develop it while it is so difficult to find data about the river basins? So give us some ideas about that particular product.
Yes, the regional people got together. Then we have to know each other. And the basis is we have to introduce our rivers to our neighbors. Our neighbors' river, we don't know in this region. We may know about the European rivers, Seine or Thames, or the Potomac rivers or Colorado River, but no rivers in Mekong or the Philippine rivers. We have to know each other. That is why we started this catalog of rivers, and we got 6 volumes, 121 rivers from 16 countries. And the very interesting feature is, how to say rivers in their local language. And the local language we use for in order to express rivers. Irog or Sungai or Bungawan, the Menam, Kari, they are all the local language, but we didn't know how to Jan or Chun or So this was the start, but eventually we learned this international the cooperation is actually intranational cooperation. Because in order to describe the rivers in comprehensive way, we have to get together within the country, the forestry or groundwater or the history, and of course engineers and hydropowers. So we started this one as a symbol of international collaboration and learning each other. But it ends up with starting from the intranational learning. This was an example. And this lesson extended to other nations in other IHP committees in the world through the IHP Intergovernmental Council.
Okay.
We are very proud of this.
Let's go back to this catalog of river, and you have given very interesting idea. How do we understand each other? Like a river, like a Songhai, all these terminologies are very different. Also, the scale of the rivers is very different. What is river to one country may be a very small stream to another country. So did you do a lot of standardization in coming up with the catalog of river? How did you agree that catalog of river must have this kind of data for them to then do the intranational effort?
Well, actually, the catalog of rivers became the basis of database for Asian Pacific Friend contribution.
Oh,
however, we didn't do much about the standardization, the type of thing at the time of publication of catalog of rivers because we are so busy. But now the next generation is working on the hydrological models,
yeah.
and now they are trying to produce the hydrological analysis catalog. Yeah.
So that's the next step now.
That is the next step.
Yeah. You can build on it.
Yeah. Catalog rivers is the basis of the data collection, and it contributed a lot to the Asian Pacific Friend program of IHP.
Yeah, so that's very important for colleagues who are watching us now to know that International Hydrological Program is an intergovernmental program of United Nations, of UNESCO, and Kuni has been the chairperson of that as well. And in this particular program, member states come together, make important decisions. There has been a very important cross-cutting program of IHP, which was Friend, and Kuni has done a lot of excellent work of that, and also for the International Flood Initiative. You have been the secretary of that particular program as well. So Kuni, if we go now to the next step now, you've already given us an idea that with the catalog of river being built, now the catalog of hydrological analysis is being done now by the RSC with the Japan Fund's interest. So catalog of hydrological analysis may have basic analysis of the river, the rating curve, the routing method. So many things can now be standardized and colleagues can take them further. But also we have now this COVID situation, and COVID has put many challenges to us. What do you see is the role of hydrologists, the water professionals in the situation of COVID, and what needs to be done differently now?
Yeah, COVID, we all are very much afraid of multi-hazards. If the floods or earthquakes happen now, how to evacuate and how to recover quickly, because everything is slowed down and everybody is afraid of infection.
Yeah.
Well, this is why we really have to be well prepared, and preparedness should be based upon early warning and hazard maps. And for that, the hydrologists are much to do. And especially, the point is we have to provide not the general information only, but also very specific risk area, the spot information. For that, we have to measure a lot. And I'd like to share with you a very interesting news broadcasted already in Japanese TV. That was work of University of Yamanashi and Hokkaido. A research team found identify the coronavirus in the sewage system. And if this methodology becomes well developed, then we can identify which area is infected by coronavirus. And maybe this, we can concentrate our support to those the infected area. This may be useful in Africa, or you know, where the people are sparsely located, and the help should come in a spot. This kind of possibility, and also, of course, for hydrologists, we have to utilize the satellite information and the remote sensing to identify the hazard, the forecast, and as detailed as possible. So this is the kind of thing we face immediately. One more thing.
Yeah, please.
May I say one more thing? That is this COVID situation. You know, we have to change our mode of communication. And like this Zoom, we can see your face and other participants' face very well. You know, this is a basic difference from the current way of communication. That is, some star professors come on stage and speak, and we just listen to, and we don't know who are, well, if we are not in the room, we don't know who is listening to. And only the people who can afford long travel can attend the meeting. But now this Zoom or Google Meet, you know, this is the communication can be very flattered. So that is why this is an occasion for us to make our communication mode into more integrated, interdisciplinary. And what I like to say is transdisciplinary approach. It should be promoted by this the COVID the occasion.
That brings me to the next question, Kuni. I've been listening to you for more than 10 years, and you are a very big supporter of transdisciplinary approach. And many colleagues who have joined us today, they have their own view of about what transdisciplinary approaches are. Many people think we have a hydrologist, we have an economist, a sociologist, and maybe bring a modeler, and we have a project which works with all these disciplines. That may be transdisciplinary. In your view, what have we really learned? What is the transdisciplinary approach in water sciences, in dealing with sustainability issues? What should we do to really make it transdisciplinary?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. This very important question. You know, we have interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary, but all they are kind of the research or planning stage. But transdisciplinary, we have to make it really connected with the implementation and practice, because the real integration can only happen in implementation stage. Yeah. So in transdisciplinary approach, we all stakeholders got together and they make decision making. Not only just got together and discuss, but also decisions should be made in the transdisciplinary way, in transparent way. Once the decision-making process becomes transparent, then science becomes most persuasive, information. And this is the most healthy way of spreading the sciences around. And also, because this is the implementation, the approach, therefore, community should get together. So the academia, public sector, private sector, and also the civic society, including communities, should go together. So the basic difference of transdisciplinary approach from interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary approach is involvement of implementation and the communities.
Yeah, wonderful. So basically, it's not really academic anymore.
Right.
Go with the decision making and the implementation process in a transdisciplinary way. And transdisciplinary, of course, we need to bring different disciplines, but very important, the people who are affected by those decisions. So everyone knows what we are doing and why we are doing and how we are doing and what is the best role of science in that. That's where, Kuni, you have also a very important credit as the director of UNESCO Center IHP since 2006. One of, in my view, the great achievements under your leadership is to bring this National Institute of Policy Studies, GRIPS, and IHP together to do master and PhD degree programs. That's very important for the capacity building. Would you like to share some ideas about building capacity for transdisciplinary decision making and for transparent decision making? How do we go about it, and what have you learned with your excellent effort, which is with GRIPS?
Okay. Okay, I'm very happy to serve as founding director of IHP. But now actually Professor Koike is doing even better. But I like to say about the basic concept of IHP. That is education, research, education, and the information network together. And we consider the education and research is too big for you. And the information network is our navigation the system. And where this vehicle go, that is the localism. Localism. You know, we have to bring our knowledge and practice, practical experiences to localities, down to the, in front of the real people, real problems. And by this, in order to implement this one, you know, how important is the education. We cannot just the transfer piecewise, piecemeal, the technology or the way of thinking, but also we train and the people and train leaders, and they will go back to their country and do their own things. And I can only teach and introduce some local experiences, but those people, we are really proud of having the many excellent, brilliant the students all over the world, and they are doing their best in their country, and IHP keep helping. Well, together with, of course, the UNESCO and JAXA, or I mean the JICA, or those the international agencies. But we really like to support the people who can implement by themselves the scientific decision makings.
Thank you very much, Professor. This concept of localism is a very important one, and this can only be possible to bring with your 40 years of experience or more of that experience by learning at a global level as the chair of IHP is the whole of the world understanding, then bring it to the Asia Pacific region, bring it to ICHAM, bring it to policy studies and bring this master program, and then leaving this imprint with your students at the localism level. Last question, what do you see would be different for Japan Fund's interest, for UNESCO Office in Jakarta, the colleagues, how should we go to the next step? Of course, you have mentioned the Catalogue of hydrological analysis is one work which is being done. What do you think is the next step for us in this region and to provide to the world?
Well, because I think transdisciplinary approach is a real way of expanding or transferring the scientific knowledge to, deliver scientific knowledge to the local community. I really hope the IHP will take a lead to promote the transdisciplinary approach. And I remember while I was in ICHAM, we had so-called UNESCO Pakistan project. And in this, we worked together very good, the IFAS as the ICHAM, the hydrological model, and GS map as JAXA's satellite information, and together with the Pakistan, the satellite, and also the meteorological agencies, PMG, and we had very nice the application of the technology. But now, if possible, I'd like to have this kind of project extended into to include local communities, and the UNESCO IHP not only just the theory and the theoretical part, but also some implementation. Just an example. And the UNESCO Pakistan project is one of very brilliant experience, but should be extended to include local communities. And I think this COVID experience is a good occasion to make our communication mode flattered to include all the stakeholders together.
Thank you very much. Professor Kuniyoshi, you have given us so many ideas, and thank you for your elaboration on the Pakistan flood project. That is a complete subject on its own. One day we will have that insight with you and with other colleagues. So this is the time for me to summarize. Let's very carefully see the benefits of working together. At the level of the whole region, Professor Kuni has given us the example of more than 30 years of IHP regional steering committee mechanisms. By the way, IHP-RSC is now expanded and is in the process of expanding to the whole of Asia Pacific. And also there are many important centers and chairs in this, like ICHAM, and there are many others who are actively working together as UNESCO family. Then also, if you recall from Professor Kuni has given us a very interesting idea, it's not just working on the scientific ideas only. Of course, we have people who know climate, who know geology, but very importantly, culture, and very importantly, understanding each other's language. And that's where what is a river to somebody and what is a stream and what do they call in their own language. And how do we bring intra-national effort? This is very important message here. It's not that at the regional level with the RSC, all the problems will be solved. The members must go back to their own country. They bring all the cooperation within that country and then bring it back to what is the Catalogue of rivers. And as was mentioned by Professor, every step leads to the next one. Now we have the catalog related to the hydrological analysis, from understanding a unit hydrograph, understanding a rating curve, all the way to routing models. That is becoming available. Also, Professor, thank you for bringing the transdisciplinary approach. And transdisciplinary approach is working together, but not just in an academic setting, bringing transparency, and very importantly, community and decision maker. And lastly, I would also like to take note with our colleagues, how do we bring localism? And localism is possible once we have understood the global principles and ideas. And that's where this GRIPS and ICHAM work, which is of course being led now by Professor Koike, but you are the pioneer, and we very much respect that. And that can be a great example, how do we build capacity at the policy right up to the community level. In COVID, there are many challenges, but as you have highlighted, Professor, we also have a huge opportunity. We can be together, irrespective of our rank or from where we are and how do we look. We can communicate with each other. There are many questions which have been asked in Q&A. I will want to keep this session to 30 minutes. Very quickly, from Japan Fund interest, we are also very thankful to Professor Kuni and everyone, and from UNESCO Jakarta for contributions. Catalogue of rivers is 6 volumes and more than 120 plus river basins available with UNESCO. You can download it, or we can provide the links to you. And Catalogue of Hydrological Analysis is being worked right as we speak. And there are many models which are coming together. IFAS model, which is mentioned by Professor Kuni in Pakistan project, also available free of charge through ICHAM. So all those products are available, but remember, the work cannot be done in 10 days or a month. It's not a consultancy. We need a full career like Professor Kuniyoshi's, starting from basic ideas, bringing all the way to the global level and leading the global efforts. With that, we thank you all. We will continue to have this 30-minute series, and we will listen to some of the most eminent people like Professor Kuniyoshi. Thank you very much, Professor. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Shahbaz and Professor Kuniyoshi, and to all participants who have joined this event. Please do not miss the upcoming Sustainable Insight Part 3 on 6 July with Ms. Salote Rokoto Galevu, Coordinator of Early Childhood Education and Care Programs from the University of South Pacific as our guest speaker. The next session will focus on capacity building challenges in small island and developing states. For further information, please visit our Sustainability Insight Instagram and Facebook page. If you wish to receive the certificate of this webinar today, please go to the link at the chat box and answer a few questions. We keep this form open for 90 minutes. All viewers from Facebook and Zoom are invited to fill the attendance list. We wish you a good day, stay safe, and see you soon on the next event. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Goodbye.